presentation on Lyndon B. Johnson and the Civil Rights Act. I'm Yancey Wilmoth. I'm from Old Fort, North Carolina, and Menifee, Virginia. Lyndon B. Johnson was born in Stonewall, Texas, which is in central Texas, in 1908. He enrolled in the Southwest Texas State Teachers College, which is also now called the Texas State University of San Marcos. He graduated in 1930, and then he went around throughout Texas and taught at several schools, including Houston and Cotulla. He entered in politics at a pretty early age in 1930. He was appointed the legislative secretary for Congressman Richard Kellogg. He was elected the Speaker of the Little Congress, which is a group of congressional aides. He became a surrogate son of Sam Rayburn. Sam Rayburn was Speaker of the House for several years, a very important political figure of Texas. He was appointed head of the Texas National Youth Administration in 1935. His family life, he married Claudia Alta Taylor, she was also known as Lady Bird. They were married in 1934. They both attended Georgetown University Law School for several months, which did not last very long. They had two daughters named Linda Bird and Lucy Baines. And one interesting thing about Lyndon B. Johnson was that he liked to give people and animals his own initials. So he had a dog that was named Little Bill Johnson, and his daughters are also another example of the L and the B. He served briefly in the Navy. He was a lieutenant commander. He also received a Silver Star in the South Pacific. He campaigned successfully in 1937 for the House of Representatives. He used a New Deal platform. His wife helped him, which was a huge aid. He served in the House for 6 terms. Then he went to the Senate, and he was elected senator in 1948. 1953, he became the youngest minority leader in Senate history. The following year, the Democrats got control of Texas, and he became the majority leader. And that's a picture of his beagle right there that had the same initials as his name. That's taken on his. That picture was taken on his ranch in Texas. In the 1960 presidential campaign, Johnson was elected as John F. Kennedy's running mate. JFK was assassinated in 1963. He was sworn in as president on November the 22nd when Kennedy was assassinated. LBJ stepped right into presidential affairs. He took it full throttle. The first thing he did was continue what JFK had started, which was the Civil Rights Bill and also a tax cut. He won the presidential, he became president in 1964 on his own. He had 61% of the vote, which was incredible. It was the widest popular margin in American history, with more than 15 million votes. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was what he continued after JFK. He faced a lot of opposition from the South, and he convinced Congress to pass the act. It was a landmark piece of legislation. It outlawed most segregation, specifically in schools, public places, and employment. There's a legend that says right after he signed it, he turned around to his aide and said something like, "We have lost the South for a generation." This was referring to the Democratic Party in the South, how they were totally, of course, against what he was doing with the Civil Rights Act in 1964. But that was just a legend, so no one was really sure if it's true. All right. He presented the Great Society program to Congress. This included aid for education, attack on disease, Medicare, and included a lot of things for urban renewal in a lot of big cities. Under LBJ's presidential term, there's huge steps in space exploration. 3 men orbited around the moon, and he was right behind them back in the moon. He also had to deal with segregation, of course, and the communist aggression in Vietnam. Unexpectedly, LBJ withdrew as a candidate for re-election. When he did this, he did it because he wanted peace without the politics interfering with what he was trying to get peace for. This really startled the whole world. He went back to his ranch in Texas and died unexpectedly of a heart attack. This was 1973, January 22nd. People were starting to have peace talks, but he passed away before he was able to get involved. That's it. Any questions?
What is the Silver Star?
The Silver Star is basically an act of fame. He obviously did something in the war. I didn't research that far into his war life because that wasn't really too important for him, but he obviously did something really important.
A Silver Star is usually battle related. It's something that you did in order, that was over and above the call of duty to receive a Silver Star. It's very close to right below a Congressional Medal of Honor. So it's very significant, Silver Star medal winners.
After he withdrew from the election, how long was it after that he had the heart attack?
He withdrew in let's see, 64, so it'd be around 68. So it was about 85 years later.
Did he and JFK get along pretty well?
I'm not sure. I didn't really research on how they were getting along. I just covered the part from how JFK was pushing for the same things, and when JFK died, he automatically stepped into his footsteps.
Any more questions? Let's give Yancey a hand. Very good presentation.